Morning to all my dear students. How are you? Hope you all are safe and fine at home. Today in your EVS we'll be doing lesson number 5 that we're doing Anita and the Honeybee part 2. This we were doing already in the first part. We learned about how Anita managed to go to the school and the teacher of their school convinced her parents to send her to school, as they told her that they don't have to pay any money for her schooling. So Anita started going to school, and after some times she also started taking tuitions of the younger children of her village so that she can earn some money and support her education. So doing this way she studied up to 8th standard, and then she started going to college. Also with the help of the tuitions only she started earning money, and then after earning money from the tuitions she started the business of beekeeping that she learned from the government classes that were going on in her village. Why did she do so? Because there are the area in which she lives, there are many lychee trees over there, and the lychee flowers attracts the bees a lot. So the beekeeping was much easier in that area, and there were government classes also to train how to keep the bee and how to take care of the bee and to extract the honey and then sell into the market. So she was the first girl of her village to learn about the beekeeping. Now we'll be starting part 2. So I hope you all have recalled what we did in the part 1. Open your textbooks on page number 36. Write today's date and classwork. Today is 30, 9, 20 and 20. And which day is today? Today is Wednesday. Write also day and date. After writing day and date, write here CW and part 2. Now I'm going to explain this part. You all will read this whole lesson at home. As you all know, I explained in the first part that she was a Girl Star, a program which was launched by the government to identify the girls who do some extraordinary things by the very limited resources they have, either in the sports of academics, it is in the field of sports, academics, or any other things, any other way. So she was also spotted and she was a Girl Star. Now we'll continue with the stories. How did she learn the beekeeping? Last time I told you here that she was the first girl, and when the flowers bloom in the lychee tree, the flowers lychee tree attracts many of the flowers, many of the honeybees, and the honeybees lays their eggs in the month of October to December. So that is the best time when you can start your beekeeping business. So now we'll start part 2. Becoming a beekeeper. Now how you become a beekeeper? I completed my beekeeping course, but I need more money to start work. I continued to teach and collect rupees 5,000. With this money, I bought 2 boxes for keeping bees. Each one box cost rupees 2,000. With the remaining money, I bought sugar to make the syrup for honeybees and medicines to clean the hive. Now, after she completed the course of beekeeping from the government institution that the government people were training, she needed money to start the business. So how did she collect the money? She collected the money by taking the tuitions, and she collected the money of 5,000 rupees. Now with the help of these 5,000 rupees, she bought 2 boxes to keep the beehives. You can see these type of boxes are there. I'll also send you one of the pics of the boxes in which the bees are kept. This type, one big box is there, and like this many small frames are there on which the bees live in that box. So it's a special beekeeping boxes are available in the market where this business is there. So each box costs rupees 2,000. So she bought 2 boxes for 2,000 rupees each, and with the remaining money she bought some sugar to make the syrup to attract the bees, and to clean the hives she also bought some medicines. Now on page number 37. That was in September. By December, I had so many bees. Now she started her business in September, but by December she had many bees. Still, I had to buy two more boxes. Now, because the bees number of bees increased, then she had to buy additional two more boxes to keep those bees. I was still learning about the beekeeping. Many times the bees would sting me and my hands, but the face would get swollen. I would pain a lot. I cannot complain to anyone because I myself had decided to do this work. Now it is not an easy work to do. The beekeeping work is not easy because, as you all know, that bee stings, and when it stings, it leaves a sting in your body at which part it stings. So, and sometimes it is poisonous also. So by the December she had many bees, and she had to buy some additional boxes to keep the bees. And but the beekeeping was difficult because many times the bees would sting her and her face, in the hand और on her face, which would get swollen. मतलब कि जब जहाँ पर भी मधुमक्खी काटती है तो क्या होता है, मधुमक्खी का डंक, वहाँ जो स्टिंग होता है, वो डंक जो होता है वो उस बॉडी में, उस पार्ट में रह जाता है, और उससे क्या होता है कि उसको तुरंत निकालना पड़ता है. फर्स्ट वी हैव टू रिमूव द स्टिंग, नहीं तो और उसके काटने की वजह से पूरा फेस या हाथ जहाँ पर भी कट किया होता है बी ने, वो पूरा सूज जाता है और बहुत ज़्यादा पेन होता है. बट वॉट अनीता इज टेलिंग इज, अनीता टोल्ड दैट आई कैन नॉट कंप्लेन एनीवन अबाउट द पेन बिकॉज इट वॉज माई चॉइस टू स्टार्ट द वर्क of beekeeping, so I cannot complain about my pain also. Now this is a find out which what do people डू व्हेन दे हैव अ बी स्टिंग. मतलब वो लोग क्या करते हैं जब उनको मधुमक्खी काट जाती है. तो बहुत सारे लोग क्या करते हैं, मिट्टी, गीली मिट्टी लगाते हैं, कोई विनेगर लगाता है, कोई ऑनियन रब करता है, कोई टूथपेस्ट यूज़ करता है. सम पीपल ऑल्सो रब द आयरन आर्टिकल टू रिमूव दैट स्टिंग एंड सो दैट इट डजंट गेट swollen. So there are many and sometimes people also use the edible sodium bicarbonate also, जिसको खाने का सोडा बोलते हैं, उसका भी पेस्ट करके लगाते हैं जिससे कि जिस पार्ट में कट गया हो वहाँ पर स्वेलिंग ना हो. Now next is draw a picture of honeybee in your notebook and color it and give its name. That I've already told you to draw the picture and color and give the name. Now next one. On the lychee trees, a flower have bloomed in February. I put all my boxes near the lychee orchards. I collect 12 kgs of honey from each box. I sold this honey to the market. This was my first earning from bees. Now I have 20 boxes. Now when flowers started blooming on the lychee trees, it was the month of February when the flowers started blooming, means lychee के पेड़ में फूल कब दिखने लगे, in the month of February. So what did Anita do? Anita put all the boxes of the bees near the lychee orchards. मतलब कि लीची के बगीचे के पास जो है सारे हनी बीज के जितने भी बॉक्सेस थे वो वहाँ पर रख देती थी. एंड दिस वे शी कलेक्टेड 12 kgs ऑफ हनी फ्रॉम ईच बॉक्स. फ्रॉम ईच ऑफ द बॉक्स शी कलेक्टेड 12 kgs and sold it in the market. And after selling that, she again that was her first income from the bees. The honey that she collected 12 kgs from one box. So there were many boxes with her. So how much honey she has collected, that you can find out. Now I have 20 boxes. Now she had 20 boxes of the bees. What will be the cost of Anita's 20 boxes? Now we know that the cost of one box is 2000 rupees, as it was told here that one box costed 2000 rupees, and now she had 20 boxes. So what will be the cost of those 20 boxes? Cost of one box is 2000 rupees. Cost of 20 boxes will be 2000 multiplied by 20, that is equal to 40,000 rupees. Now Anita had total 20 boxes costing 40,000 rupees. Every day I go to college on cycle. My college is 5 kilometers away in the town. Now you also know a lot about Anita. Now you can see Anita, along with doing this beekeeping business, taking out honey, looking after the bees, cleaning the hives, giving sugar syrup to the honeys, then also she could go to the college on cycle, which was about 5 kilometers from her village. She used to go to the town in the college. So you can now learn a lot about Anita, that how did she manage all her things in her life in such a small age. Now on the lychee trees, flowers have bloomed in February. I put all my boxes near the lychee orchards. I collected 12 kgs of honey from each box. I sold them honey in this honey in the market. this way, this was my first earning from the bees. Now I have 20 boxes. No. So when the flowers started blooming in the lychee trees, that means when the flowers, we can see the flowers on the lychee trees. At that time it was the month of February. So what did she do? She put all her boxes of the bees in the lychee orchards, and then with the, from after collecting the honey from each box, she found that the weight of the from that honey that collected was 12 kgs from each box. She sold it in the market, and that was her first earning from the beekeeping or from the honey. And now she has 20 boxes. What will be the cost of the 20 boxes? Now you have to find the total cost of Anita's 20 boxes. The cost of one box was 2000 rupees, as we read earlier. The cost of one box was rupees 2000. So what will be the cost of 20 boxes? Cost of 20 boxes will be 2000 multiplied by 20. That is 40,000 rupees. Now you can imagine how much she earned from these boxes. From one box of bees. So you can imagine the amount of money that she can earn now. Every day I go to college on cycle. My college is 5 kilometers away in the town. Now you also know a lot about Anita. Now after looking after the bees, making syrup for the sugar syrup for the bees, keeping the beehives clean, after doing all that work, she giving tuitions to the students, to the children of her village, younger children of the village. After doing all that, she would also go to attend the college, which was 5 kilometers in the town. So she used to go by the cycle there. So we can learn now we know a lot about Anita, that what such an extraordinary girl she was. At such a young age, she started taking tuitions to get the money to earn her own expenses on education, because she wanted to study. So she started taking tuitions to earn the money. Then she learned how to keep the beekeeping, and then she started doing that beekeeping also, and she earned the money also from by selling the honey. So this young girl thought such a long period of time that if she starts keeping the bees, then in the longer run, in the near future, this is going to help her whole family. Moving on to page number 38. Anita is known by everyone in the village nearby. She goes to all the villages, meeting all the village meetings, and talk about how important it is to study. For everyone to study. Sometimes people make fun of her, but Anita knows what she is doing. So now all the villages near her village, nearby her villages, know Anita very well, because she was the first girl to do this work. Normally the girls don't do this type of work in the villages, but she was the one who started this work. Now everyone nearby villages know her. She also goes to the villages to tell and attend the meetings in the villages, and convince all the parents to send their children to school, and how important it is to study, because if she'll study, then only she can be a discipline, and you can achieve more in your life, and also what you want to achieve in your life. You can, if you are an educated person, then you know what is good for you, what is bad for you. You can make the difference between that also, and you will not come in others words that if you do this, if you do that. You will think, and then only you will go ahead. What is right for you, that only you are going to do. You will not depend on others to make decisions for you if you are educated. So sometimes people in the village make fun of Anita that she is doing such type of work. But Anita is not at all distracted by such things, because she knows that what she is doing is right. Anita wants to become a wholesaler so that she can help the villagers to get the right price for their honey. Now, what is the meaning of a wholesaler? A wholesaler is a person who sells takes the things from a villagers or from the farmers, and then he sells it to the other shopkeepers. So she wants to be the wholesaler to collect all the honey that is collected in the town, so that the villagers could get the right price of their honey, the proper price for the honey, because these people, what they do is they don't give the correct price or the proper price of the product from the when they buy it from the villagers. So she wants to be the wholesaler too, so that the villagers can get the proper correct amount of their goods. Now this is your find out. Anita and the other people of villages get rupees 35 for 1 kg of honey. How much does 1 kilogram of honey cost in your town? So in the village where the Anita lives, there the cost of honey, the villagers get the honey at a price of 35 rupees for 1 kilogram. So what is the cost of honey? It's around 300 rupees in my town. In my city, it costs for rupees nearly 300 rupees for 1 kilogram. Is honey used at your home? And what it is used? Now honey is used at many places at home as a medicine. When there's somebody has got cough and cold, that time also we give mix it with turmeric and we give the honey in some of the Ayurvedic medicines. Honey is used, and honey is used in cooking for making certain sweet dishes. Honey is also mixed with lemon and water, and in the morning it is taken for the weight loss also. So it is many things it is used. It is used in cosmetics for making the face packs also sometimes. So there are many ways you can use the honey. Now every beehive has one queen bee that lays eggs, and most of the beehives are worker bees. These bees work for the whole days. As you know that there is one queen bee, and around those queen bee are the worker bees who work and look after the beehives. That what is the work of the queen bee? The queen bee only lays eggs. That is the work of the queen bee, to lay the eggs. Rest all other work of the beehive, looking after the young ones, that is done by the worker bees only. Now we'll move on to page number 39. This is the last part, I think, of the lesson. Yes, expression part. They fly around flowers. They collect nectar from the flowers to make honey. Now what is that? You can see this is the beehive. This is the picture of a beehive where you can see these small boxes are there where bees come and collect the nectar over here. After that, from which the honey is prepared by them. So they fly around flowers. They collect the nectar from the flowers to make honey. When the bees find a flower finds flowers with nectars, it does a special type of dance by which the other bees can also know where the nectar is. The worker bees are very important for hive. Without them, the hive would be neither hive nor any nectar collection. All the bees in the hive would go hungry. Now the worker bees collects the nectar also and takes it to the hive. So if there were no worker bees, then neither there can be the hive nor there can be any nectar collection. All the work is done by the worker bees only. They collect the nectars also. They make the hive also. They clean the hive also. They look after the young ones also. The worker bees, and they distribute all the workers bees distribute their work. Some of them collect the nectar, some of them keep the hive clean, some of them make the hive, some of them look after the young ones. So that way they do the work, but all this work is done by the worker bees only. So when these bees find the flowers and the nectar in the flowers, then they do a special type of dance on those flowers, so that now, as I told you, that when the bees see the nectar in the flowers, they do a special type of dance so that they can also call the other bees around them to collect the nectars from the flowers. So this way all the worker bees collect the nectar and they take it to the hive. So without the worker bees, all the bees living in other bees in the hive would go hungry if they won't collect the nectar and if they don't make the hives. So life of these worker bees are very important. Their work is very important while making the hive also, while collecting the nectar also, and making the honey also. Now, dear children, the lesson is over. I hope you all have understood how that honeybee is important in a part of the environment. It makes the honey, which is very important. It is a natural honey that we get from these hives. The other honeys that we get in the market may not be natural. They may be actually made out of either jaggery or from the sugar also. But the nectar that is we get from these hives is the natural natural honey, which is made out of the nectar of the flowers. So now I will move on to the question answer part, the exercise part that is given on page 39. Which are the other insects that live together in the groups like honeybees? We all know that honeybee lives in group, they work in groups. So the other insects which live in groups are the termites. and the wasps, then ants, there are etc. live in group like the honeybee. Ants, you all know, you can see a long line of ants going together from one place to another. They always walk in a line. Then there are termites, जिसको कि हम दीमक बोलते हैं, वो भी जो है ग्रुप्स में रहते हैं. wasps भी एक टाइप की मक्खी जैसा ही होता है जो भी ग्रुप में रहते हैं. Now ants live and work together like honeybees. The queen ant lay the eggs like, and the soldier ants look after and guard the ant hill. Worker ants are always busy looking for food and bringing it to the ant hill. Termites and bats also live like this. Now what is the, in the same way as the honeybee lives, same way the ants also live together like that. There's a queen ant which lays eggs in the ant hill. Now what is the place where the ants live? It is called as an ant hill. Now there are soldier ants and the worker ants. The soldier ants look after and guards the hill, whereas the worker ants are there. They're always busy searching for the food and bringing the food to the ant hill. So without the worker ants also, all the other ants living in the ant hill would die. They would not get the food. The soldier ant has just to look after and guard the ant hill. The same way wasps also live together and termites also live together like the honeybees. Now have you seen where the ants live? Yes, I have seen where the ants live. They live in the ant hills. The ant hills are made in the open grounds at the base of the trees etc. जहाँ पर भी hollow space होता है वहाँ पर ants रहते हैं, या फिर open grounds में आपने देखा होगा. If you go to the ground which is a big ground, if you play, you can see many places there are ant hills over there. So उसमें से जो है एंड्स जो है घूमते रहते हैं उसके चारों तरफ. तो ओपन ग्राउंड्स में होता है, बहुत बड़े बड़े पेड़ होते हैं, तो पेड़ के बेस में मतलब जड़ों के पास भी जो है ऐसे एंट हिल्स होते हैं. बाय विच फूड आइटम्स आर द एंड्स अट्रैक्टेड? ईटेबल्स है, शुगर है, जैगरी है, ग्रेन्स है, स्वीट्स है, चपातीस है एक्सेट्रा, कैंडीज है, चॉकलेट्स है, ये सारे चीज़ों से जो एंड्स है वो अट्रैक्ट होती हैं. Look at the ant line. What is its color? You have seen all the ants always walk in a straight line. There's a long line of ants going together from one place to another. The color of the ant line is either black or brown, and sometimes it is red in color also, depending upon the color of the ant. Normally the ant line is black in color, but sometimes it is dark brown, or sometimes it is red in color also. Now moving on to page number 40. Have you been bitten by ant? What was the ant like, black or red or big or small? Now have you ever ant has bitten you ever? Yes, I have been bitten by the ant while I was playing on the ground. So the ant it was a small red ant. तो छोटा सा लाल चींटी जो होती है वो भी बहुत ज़ोर से काटते हैं. फिर थोड़ी बड़ी काली चींटी भी होती है, वो भी थोड़े बड़े साइज़ की भी होती है उसमें भी, और एक छोटी काली चींटी भी होती है, और एक थोड़ी सी उससे बड़ी काली चींटी होती है. मकोड़ा नहीं होता, लेकिन ये बड़ी काली चींटी ही बड़ी होती है. और फिर रेड एंड्स होते हैं. तो जब ग्राउंड में आपको ऐसे बहुत सारे एंड्स दिख जाएंगे. While eating peanuts, you probably throw away the shells. Why don't you try to make out something, some insects out of the shell? Now इसमें से हम जो है, जो मूंगफली के छिक्कल होते हैं, जो शेल्स होते हैं, उसको हम फेंकते, तो उसमें से आप बटरफ्लाई बना सकते हैं इजीली. वैसे शेल्स रखिए और उसको यहाँ पर एक बीच में ऐसे रख के और कलर कर सकते हैं, बटरफ्लाई बना सकते हैं. वैसे हनी बी भी बना सकते हैं बीच में उसके, और फिर पेपर से उसके आप जो है उसके पंख बना सकते हैं. वैसे आप कर सकते हैं. सो यू ट्राई दिस आउट, मेकिंग अ बटरफ्लाई आउट ऑफ द शेल. If I'll get the shell, I'll try and make it and show it to you, and you can after pasting it, or before that also, you can color those shells and then you can directly paste it on this. Color the shells before you paste it on this. जो भी कलर का आपको बटरफ्लाई बनाना है, उस कलर के बटरफ्लाई का शेल्स, जो भी शेल्स हैं जितने भी यूज़ करने हैं मूंगफली के, उसको आप अच्छे से कलर कर लीजिए. उसके बाद ड्राई कर लीजिए, और उसके बाद उसमें बटरफ्लाई बना के इधर आप पेस्ट करिए. It will be a beautiful butterfly. It's a lovely craft work that you can do it easily. So try it out. This is your creativity, how creative you can be with such things. It shows that also. So dear children, we come to the end of the lesson, Anita and the honeybees. I hope, dear children, you all have understood the lesson that beekeeping is not an easy thing to do. So जो मधुमक्खी से हम दूर भागते हैं, हमको उनसे डर लगता है, वही हमको इतना मीठा जो है हनी प्रोवाइड करता है, जिससे हम बहुत सारी चीज़ों में यूज़ करते हैं. हम रिलीजियस सेरेमनीज़ में होता है, उसमें हम पंचामृत बनाने में यूज़ करते हैं, मेडिसिन में यूज़ करते हैं, कॉस्मेटिक्स में यूज़ करते हैं, वेट लॉस में यूज़ करते हैं, स्वीट डिशेस बनाने में यूज़ करते हैं. सो हनी इज़ यूज्ड इन many things, and which is very healthy option also for making the things sweet rather than using the sugar. सो डियर चिल्ड्रन, आपने अनीता के बारे में भी जाना कि कितनी ब्रेव गर्ल थी अनीता, जिसको ये आइडिया आया कि मैं ऐसा ऐसा कुछ करूँ जिससे मैं अपने फैमिली को भी हेल्प कर सकती हूँ, अपने आप को खुद भी फाइनेंशियली सपोर्ट करके अपनी पढ़ाई को कंटिन्यू कर सकती हूँ। आपके पास इतनी फैसिलिटीज होती, कभी आपने ऐसे सोचा है कि नहीं हम ऐसा कुछ करें? तो आपको भी अगर ऐसा आइडिया आता है तो आप करिए। अगर आपके घर में मेड आती है, अगर वो अपने बच्चों को पढ़ने, तो आप उनको कन्विंस करिए, ट्राई करिए उनको समझाने का कि नहीं पढ़ाई कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट है। और हो सके तो आपसे जो भी हेल्प होती है, कोई नोटबुक देगा, कोई पेंसिल देगा, कोई इरेजर देगा, कोई बुक्स दिलाएगा, कोई स्कूल बैग, तो भी वो बच्चे आराम से पढ़ सकते हैं। तो दे कैन ऑल्सो स्टडी, सो यू कैन ऑल्सो डू दिस टाइप ऑफ सम सोशल वर्क ऑल्सो. So dear children, now we'll move on and do the work in the workbook, the exercises that are there in the workbook. But dear children, you fill all the things that you have to write in the textbook and all the pages up to page number 40. I have already written all the answers and I have told you also. So complete your textbook from page number 36 to page number 40. Now we move on to workbook.